Hey everyone, Maestro here. I am the football enthusiast. Hope you're all doing well. Alright, so today's video will be about Europe, specifically European qualification in the Premiership, who I think will make it into next season's Champions League, Europa League, and yes, even the Conference League. I was actually doing my research for this video and I completely forgot about the Conference League. Completely forgot about it. But it is there, it is Europe, so we'll be talking about who gets into that. Now, before I give my opinion on who I think will be finishing in those positions, in those competitions for next season, let's first go through the rules of how to actually qualify. Now, I'm sure most of you do know, but sometimes it can get a bit complicated in terms of the Europa League positions and the Conference League positions, so let's just have a quick explanation. Now, we have it here on the Premier League official page. It explains it all for us. Now, first, with the Champions League is simple. You guys all know the case. It's the teams that finish in first, second, third, and fourth position qualify for the Champions League group stages straight up. Now, there is a special case where if you aren't in the top four, so let's say you're seventh, and you win the Champions League the year before, you get qualification still. But that qualification doesn't come with like, if you finish seventh and win the Champions League, you don't knock out the team that finishes fourth. You just become the fifth team to qualify for the Champions League for that league. So yeah, but yeah, in this case, because the only team that will be finishing in the Champions League that are still in the Champions League for the Premiership is City, and they're definitely in the top four this year. Next year, the Premiership will only have 4 teams. Only 4 teams in the Champions League. And yeah, that's pretty much the case in general for most years. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 gets Champions League football. Now, the Europa League is where it gets a bit iffy. Now, the Premiership is given 2 places for the Europa League group stages. The first place goes to the 5th place team in the Premiership. If you finish 5th, you get into the Europa League straight up. The second place first goes to the winners of the FA Cup. But if we have a case like we do in this year, where the winners of the FA Cup will either be United or City, who will both most likely qualify in the top 5, then that means we go down to right here. You can see where my cursor is, right here below. I'll highlight it. It says as follows. If the FA Cup winners finish in the top 5 of the Premier League, their UEFA Europa League group stage place will go to the next highest ranked team, meaning 6. So, in this case, in this season, the Europa League group stages will go to 5th and 6th. That's what you need to know. Now, finally, with the Conference League. Now, you get into the Conference League if you win the EFL Cup, aka the Carabao Cup, which Manchester United won. Which, by the way, fun fact, that actually now means then that United were the first team to qualify for Europe this year for the Premiership. So that's kind of like a fun fact. I didn't know that. But yeah, if you win the EFL Cup, that's how you qualify for the Conference League. But it's also the rule as it was before with the Europa League. If the winners, just down here below, I'm highlighting it again. If the winners of the Carabao Cup finish in the top 5, which United definitely will, then their place goes to the next highest ranked team not qualified for a UEFA competition, meaning 7th. In the case of this season, 7th will be getting into the Conference League. So to sum up, 1, 2, 3, 4 Champions League, 5, 6 Europa League, 7 Aston Villa. There you go. Now let's go through who I think will be finishing in those positions to get into the top 4. Now let's start with the easiest one so far, the Champions League. So already, if you don't know, City and Arsenal are officially mathematically confirmed to finish in the top 4 this year, meaning they are both going to be in the Champions League next year already. It's already set. Their name is already in those group stage balls that they, so 3 and 4 is where we're going to have a discussion. Now, look, I see the possibility of maybe some sort of a challenge from Liverpool. They are in great form. 4 wins in a row, I believe. But I think they're just far too inconsistent and just right now just simply not good enough to overtake United and Newcastle. So, and the same goes for the rest of the teams really. But with that being said, I think the table could very well end how it is right now in terms of the top four. City 1, Arsenal 2, Newcastle 3, United 4. But I'm going to put United at 3rd and Newcastle at 4th. It's not a big deal. It's nothing really. I mean, they both get top 4. 2, 3, 4 is all the same thing. You all get Champions League football. Who cares? So, but that's just my little prediction. Just in case you guys wanted to know, I do think with the remaining fixtures left in the season, I do see United just slightly pipping over Newcastle and getting that 3rd place position. But once again, it's not a big deal, and I'm not dead set on it. I can see it going either way. But it is what it is. It doesn't really matter. That's the Champions League qualification out of the way. Just to sum up, I don't see Liverpool or anyone else threatening the current top 4 for their positions. I just think they're far too inconsistent, and I think United and Newcastle just this year have been just a significantly better team than these teams. So yeah, this is my top 4. It's the easiest one for me to go for. Now let's talk about 5th, 6th, the Europa League positions. Now right off the bat, I'm going to say who I believe will finish in the 5th and 6th. Liverpool and Brighton. Now, the one with Brighton is what I probably need to explain the most because they're at 52 points right now in the 8th. We'll talk about that later. Let's talk about Liverpool right now. Their remaining fixtures are as follows. You can see right here. Fulham at home, Brentford at home, Leicester away, Aston Villa at home, Southampton away. Okay. Here's how I see it going. Win, draw or loss, maybe a win too. It's a tough one because of the relegation fight, but yeah. Draw, loss. Win. Win here because look, Liverpool are in great form. 4 wins in a row. And usually around this time of the year, when you play teams like Fulham and Brentford who have nothing to fight for, it's actually the easiest games of that time. If you're fighting for a title or top 4 or anything, you want to play teams that have nothing to fight for, as opposed to teams that are in lower positions but have everything to fight for. So for example, the Leicester game I think will be harder than these 2 games here. Yes, Fulham and Brentford have both been significantly better than Leicester this year, but then there's like Brentford and Fulham are done. Like what else is there to do? They're not getting Europe and they're not going down. It's good. They're chilling, they're breezy, they're fine for the season, they're fine for next year. They're here and it's just to kill the time, I guess. They need to play. It's with the rules. Leicester are fighting for their lives right now, so I think this will be harder, and I could see a draw or a loss, but I don't think that draw or loss will hinder their season, Liverpool, because I think I see a win here and a win here. Southampton, yes, you could say, well, they're also fighting for relegation, but Southampton, this is the last game of the season. I'm pretty sure that Southampton by that point will be down and out. So yeah, that's on Liverpool. I think they're getting top 4. I think they're just in great form right now. Yes, fortunate against Tottenham. I understand that. It should have been a draw, but the luck is always in football. I do see them racking up the points enough to get that 5th or 6th spot and getting into the Europa League. Now, Brighton. So firstly, let's actually look. Brighton, if you don't know, have 3 games in hand to Tottenham, who are currently 6, and they're only 2 points behind. Now, normally this would be like a home run, but it isn't actually a home run because context needs to be provided. I don't know why I couldn't think of the word. Because usually when people talk about games in hand, they're very ecstatic about it. They're like, "Oh, we're only 1 point behind on the game in hand. That's we're in a great position." But here's the thing: let's add some context. What are those games at hand? Now, Brighton's games in hand are very tough. In my last video, I spoke about how out of all the teams and their remaining fixtures, Chelsea probably do have the toughest schedule. But Brighton are a close second, if not maybe first. They currently find themselves having to play United at home, Everton at home, Arsenal away, Newcastle away, Southampton at home, City at home, Aston Villa away. Now, before I give my thoughts on why, even though they have these fixtures, I think they'll finish in the top 6, let's go look at Tottenham's fixtures. Crystal Palace at home, Aston Villa away, Brentford at home, Leeds away. Yes, right off the bat, we can all agree these fixtures are far more mellow than Brighton's fixtures. They're far more mild, I should say, than Brighton's fixtures. But I'm gonna go ahead and go on a limb here. I trust Brighton more with those horror fixtures than I do with Tottenham and those mellow fixtures. I really, really do. Yes, I'm not dead set on this. It's football. Anything can happen. But I trust Brighton with the current form they're in and just how they've been this season. I think they'll rack up enough points, which I don't think... Look, I think they'll rack up enough points to get that 6th spot. But also, I don't even think they need a lot. Yes, Tottenham's games aren't that hard, but would you be surprised if they drew 2-1-1, lost 1 in those remaining fixtures? I wouldn't. Tottenham seemingly, they seem out of it. They seem ready just to check out. They have no manager. They haven't had a manager for a while now since Conte left. They have 2 caretaker managers. The fans are just... they've just had enough of this crap. And with the rumours about Harry Kane wanting to leave and the players just seemingly checked out in themselves. You know, like, for example, that mistake, that when it was 3-3 against Liverpool, to make that mistake, like, you couldn't just get your head together for just like 30 more seconds. You had to make that silly pass. Just smack it out. Look, and I know that's just one player, but I think that vibes throughout the whole team. Like, what's Romero doing with that penalty? Why is he, like, what's he doing there? They all seemed, all of them, not all of them, most of them seemed just, let's just end this season and just let's start anew next. Okay, is Kane leaving? If he is, just go so we can know that you're here or not, and then understand what to do. They just seem checked out. I've said that a million times. I'll say again. They just seem like they're ready to end the season. So yes, I'll go back to what I said. I trust Brighton with that horror fixture list than I do with Tottenham with this mellow fixture list. So Brighton for me in 6. Aston Villa now. The fight for 7th. Aston Villa or Tottenham. We saw Tottenham's fixtures. Let's look at Aston Villa's. Wolves away, Villa home, Liverpool away, Brighton home. Here's the thing. Now, Villa and Tottenham are neck and neck, by the way. 34 games played, 34 games played. 54 points, 54 points. 6 goal difference, 4 goal difference. They are right there with each other. And, you know, let's go through the fixtures, I think, where there'll be wins and losses for Tottenham. Okay. Draw, loss. Draw, loss. No, draw, loss, win. Look, it's tough, you know. 1 point here, 0 here, 3 points here, making it 4, 0 points here. That's 4 points for them. Villa, now once again, this is a 3, so this is a 6-pointer. Villa, Wolves. 3 points here, 3 points here. That's 6 right there. 0 points here, 0 points here. So 6. So 6-4. Which, wow, you know, because before I was thinking of Aston Villa finishing above. No, Tottenham finishing above Aston Villa, but now I guess looking at those fixtures, making my decision, and the big one being the fact that they're playing each other at Aston Villa's home. Wow, you know, I guess I sound like a biased twat because I am an Arsenal fan. This looks very, very bad on me. But with the fixture list present, and once again, you guys know how much I just don't trust Tottenham. And with Aston Villa, by the way, let's talk about Aston Villa real quick, because if you don't know, if you were to just count the Premier League table from when Unai Emery joined Villa, I believe they are second to Arsenal. Now, I could be way off there, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. I think they're second only to Arsenal since Unai Emery joined. They lost against United, a tough loss, but it was a great defensive performance from United, so it wasn't an easy game. But yeah, I think that Aston Villa Tottenham match, this fixture right here, is going to be clinical, and I think I see Villa winning this match. So with that being said, the Conference League position for me goes to Aston Villa. And you know what? I'm going to end it on that. Just to sum up, City 1, Arsenal 2, United 3, Newcastle 4, Liverpool 5, Brighton 6 for me, not Tottenham. And Aston Villa 7th. Tottenham 8th. That is how I think the fight for top four, the fight for Europe will go. Honestly, in my honest opinion. And now I'm not dead set on certain positions. For example, 3 and 4 could change. 5 and 6 between Liverpool and Brighton could change. And of course, the 7th position between Villa and Tottenham can change. But I am very confident in saying that Newcastle and United will be in the Champions League next season. And that Liverpool and Brighton will be in the Europa League next season. That's just my personal opinion. And yeah, that's the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. That's my video for Europe, for the Premiership. If you guys enjoyed, please leave a like. It really helps out. Please subscribe for more. It also greatly helps out. I hope you guys are having a great day. And yeah, as always, take care of yourselves and have a great day. I already said that, but yeah. See you later.